Alright, after months upon
Obscure, obsolete inventions. What can I think of that's obsolete and obscure? Like something from the past. I actually can't think of one. Don't mind eating. I'm eating some good food right now. Some oxtail potato. Oh my days. Oh, so good. What's an obscure, obsolete invention? I actually don't know. I actually don't know. I can't think of one. I know there's a lot, bro. Like something they used to use back in the days that nobody even talks about.
months of unrelenting pressure by you psychopaths pretending to be my characters on Twitter, I finally got a merch store. Let this be your lesson,
Hey,
kids. With enough
shout out to
harassment,
you.
you can achieve anything. Anyway, go check it out, or don't, whatever.
Shout out to you, bro.
Hey kids, if I learned anything from my middle school career, it's that what may seem like a good idea initially will often be remembered only as a foolish mistake. Here's a few pieces of technology from yesteryear that have since fallen into total obscurity. So I've always
Floppy disk?
believed that there's no point in having many small things when you can have one big thing. Why have many shrimp when you
No, but I feel like certain things are legendary though. You can't disrespect them by saying obsolete and obscure. Like a floppy disk, bro. Like that's the OG, bro. Without the floppy disk, we won't have like the 1 terabyte storage we have right now.
can have one lobster? Why drink many glasses of milk when you can eat one udder? Why have many
What?
cheese-its when you can have one cheese-them? Patent pending. And why have many street lights when you can have one moonlight tower? These guys were real popular back in the 1880s and 90s, often standing at over 150 feet tall and illuminating several blocks from a single point. Not very
That's
well, mind
crazy.
you. Matter of fact, they were so dim, we didn't even have the conscience to just call them light towers. Had to go and stick
Oh,
the moon on the front so people didn't get
so it
their
was
hopes up.
trash.
But thanks to our good old friend, the inverse square law, you still needed a fuck ton of light to pull this off. So they used incredibly harsh and UV emitting arc lights instead of incandescent bulbs. All the light of the moon and all the vision damage of the sun, talk about a win-win.
That is
Sadly,
insane.
these beasts have fallen by the wayside over the past century or so, except for in Austin apparently, but they use friendlier mercury vapor lamps in them, so they only get half points. Now,
What?
anyone who's been around a baby long enough knows they always have a cloud of ghoulish stench hovering around them. Jeez Louise, somebody better air out that musty little muskrat before
What
grandma
do you say?
starts hovering around. Anyone who's been around a baby long enough knows they always have a cloud of ghoulish stench hovering
Nah,
around
that's
them.
that's
Jeez
that's
Louise, somebody
before
better air out that
that's before they that's after they do some damage in that diaper.
musty little muskrat before grandma starts drooping again. You could stick him on the clothesline for a while, but knowing that little moron, I'm sure he'd find a way to hurt himself somehow. Introducing
Babies
the
always try to
baby
kill
cage.
themselves.
Finally, city dwellers all across the nation have a way of unleashing their postnatal funk on the unsuspecting
I've heard
passerby
of this.
below. These were in vogue for a while before falling
This
out of
just
style
does
and
not
middle
look
way into the
safe,
20th
bro.
century. Because apparently society started deeming babies more valuable than air conditioners. I don't really get it personally, but this is also around the time we started putting lead in gasoline, so it's probably for the best we kept them inside all day. Matter of fact, it's my firm belief that without kids growing up
Rebranded
breathing
for
lead,
cats.
there's no way
Oh
plant
wow.
rocks would have taken off in the 70s. Wow, alienating baby boomers. He's so brave and controversial. Now, in the days between the Great War and the not as great but still pretty alright war, people were trying to find efficient means of detecting an incoming air attack. They climbed their nation's tallest mountains to seek the wisdom of their greatest elders, and the wise men said, big ears. So that's what they did. These giant discs were known as
Big
acoustic
ears.
mirrors and were designed to focus incoming sound over a 5-meter diameter into a single point. They were reasonably effective as listening devices. A few of them in Britain were able to pick up the sound of a plane from all the way across the English Channel. Of course, radar
That's
came
fine.
along soon after, rendering these things completely useless beyond looking brutalist as hell. For real, instant album cover material right here. Ah! One of the Pep Boys is pulling a Spanish Inquisition on this poor wayward harlot. Huh. Just kidding. Despite the fact that this looks so very, very much like a state-of-the-art instrument of torture, it's actually just a beauty micrometer. Think those shoe size measure things at Foot Locker, only
Beauty
instead of one
micrometer.
primitive measurement. It records the entire topology of your face and skull at once.
This looks like a lobotomy instrument, bro.
With this data, a trained cosmetologist would be able to pinpoint exactly what features of your head should be enhanced and reduced with makeup in order to achieve a maximum calculated attractiveness after you've paid for their services. Clearly this device
Yeah, I like his animations.
After all, beauty is entirely objective. What, eye of the beholder? Check the name tag, buddy. Apparently, though, women didn't like being strapped into a bird cage and having their every minute flaw meticulously laid out in front of them, so this thing never really took off in the end. Next, we have the Humlauf. This was a device made during World War II designed to let infantry shoot around corners. It's
I've
like
heard
the
of this
Germans
one.
sat down and watched that part in Tom and Jerry where the conniving
Why would in your right mind would you create something like that, bro? Like it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't look like it'll be accurate at all.
rat bends the gun barrel back at his adversary. They said, Mein Gott. They came in a variety of angles between 30 and 90 degrees, and even came with a little
That is
periscope so you
insane.
could see what you were shooting at. But as we all come to find out when we reach adolescence, cartoons are the arbiters of deceit, because these things would invariably break within the first couple hundred shots or so. And even when they did work, the rounds would fucking explode from the massive acceleration, turning a deadly bullet into an ineffectual spray of shrapnel. These were so ineffective that only the 30-degree model ever saw significant production beyond prototypes, and even that was very limited. Say, you ever look at regular mousetraps and go,
I mean, in theory, that looks like a good idea. You know what I'm saying? You could stand cover and still shoot, but still, bro.
production beyond prototypes, and even that was very limited.
I mean, like look at that, bro. Look.
Only the 30-degree model ever saw significant production beyond prototypes, and even that
Like look at it, bro. Like in theory, like this is a good idea. Like you don't have to leave cover. You don't have to leave cover, but I don't know. But when you're dealing with things as fast as bullets, bro.
was very limited. Say, you ever look at regular mousetraps and go, not enough property damage? Well, check this out.
Mousetraps.
Patented in 1882, it's the revolver mousetrap, brought to you by the makers of the snail trebuchet and the cockroach claymore. Thanks to the marvels of the modern era.
This is insane. This is actually insane. Like this is just bad on so many levels. What if that bullet ricochets? This is actually a crazy picture. What the frick? Point blank bullet to the dome. It literally would explode the rat.
Tiresome hours of intense varmint slang can be outsourced to one little gadget on the floor of your kid's playroom. Now when you hear a gunshot in the middle of the night, you can rest easy knowing that, one way or the other, there's one less pest for you to deal with in the morning. Boom. 1850. Steam locomotives are all the rage. You're in the transport business, but
That's
all
too
you can
crazy.
afford is a couple dumb horses. Sure, they move things from point A to point B almost as well at a fraction of the cost, but your cool rail-riding friends called you a whack-ass and it really hurt your feelers. Well, have we got the invention for you? The Impulsoria uses an ingenious system of treadmills to turn that horse to be beckoned into a force to be reckoned with. Sure, it's expensive as hell to make and
What
limits
the
your
frick is
services
this, dude?
entirely to railroads, but just look at it. Instant pussymobile. Slap some rims and a spoiler on that, you're laughing. This
This
machine
one is
is
weird.
reported at having a maximum output of 2 to 4 horsepower, which sounds about right, and it didn't see much use outside a couple exhibitions. Now, if there's one hobby that people in the past enjoyed, it's smoking. Whoo boy did they like smoking.
They
and with
loved it,
every great
bro.
wholesome activity comes a million novelty items to go along with it. Everyone's
You got kids smoking this. Insane.
smoking. And with every great wholesome activity comes a million novelty items to go along with it. Everyone's seen the long cigarette, but how about the really long cigarette?
This is like the old generation's version of when human being like they like these fashion icons, they be creating weird shit that nobody's ever gonna use. Where would you even store this, first of all? Be carrying a long thing just to walk around just so you can smoke.
Want to smoke in the rain? Here you go. Going snorkeling? Hey, you know what's more important than oxygen? Nicotine. Doesn't
Yo,
anyone know
I'm
anything better than
asleep, bro.
cigarettes?
What the
2
frick?
cigarettes. You know what? Fuck it. Have the whole pack. You earned it.
This
Of
is
course, if you're
crazy.
trying to cut back, you can always share it with a friend. Aw, how heartburning. But you know it's even more fun than addiction.
Yo.
High quality documentaries. That's why you should check out Curiosity Stream. From the face behind that it has to offer. And with
Oh, wait, it's the end of the video?
turgid prose, stilted dialogue, pandering humor,
Nah, this is actually a funny bit, bro. Dude, that last one is the funniest one, actually. They got long cigarettes with umbrellas, underwater cigarette, shared cigarette, bro. Nah, community cigarette is insane. Yo, I'm asleep, bro. I'm actually asleep.